Hey learners, welcome to our channel. So, in this video, we are going to do one word substitutions. Now, one word substitutions form an essential part of vocabulary. As the name suggests, questions based on this concept ask you to replace a given sentence with an appropriate word. Such questions frequently feature in the verbal section of many competitive exams. So, after watching this video, you'll be acquainted with the concept of one word substitutions. So, the first one is things which cannot be read. Now, sometimes we encounter some situations in which we just get a piece of paper and it might be important, but because of like the handwriting being bad or something else, we are not able to read whatever is written on that paper. Or sometimes because the paper is crushed, then too we cannot read the things written on it. So when the things are there that cannot be read, then we say that they are illegible. So, simply speaking, things which cannot be read are illegible. So, instead of saying that the words on the paper that I got yesterday, I cannot read the things on that. So, I would simply mention that the paper that I got yesterday was illegible. Okay, so one word substitutions are this way that we just substitute the whole group of words with a single word which means the same. So our next one is things which cannot be believed, and the substitution for these words is incredible. Now, whenever someone tells us a story and we say no, 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 we can't believe that, so we would simply mention that the story was incredible. Okay? Instead of saying that it cannot be believed, we would simply say it was incredible. So, next one is person who speaks many languages. Now, if a person is there whom you know and who can speak a number of languages, then you can simply say that that person is a polyglot. So, a person who speaks many languages is a polyglot. And the next one is something easily broken. Now it's more like a quality, like if something is there which can be broken easily, then we say that that thing is fragile. So instead of saying that no, 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 don't buy it, it's easily breakable, we would simply mention that it's fragile, don't touch it. Okay, so our next one is a book that contains information on various subjects. Now, in our libraries, there are some large books which are like they are multi-topic in that book, and those books are basically encyclopedias. So, encyclopedia is a book that contains information on various subjects. So, our next group of words is an event causing sudden damage or suffering. Now, an event, just like the earthquake or a tsunami, which brings sudden damage or suffering with them, are called catastrophe. So, if there is something that causes some destruction and all of a sudden, so we just say that a catastrophe just occurred. Okay, so catastrophe is basically an event causing sudden damage or suffering. So our next group of words is a large group of insects moving in a mass. Now, the substitute for these words is swarm. So last year, there was an incident when a group of insects, like maybe their count was in millions, flew over many states in India. So during that time, in the news, we often heard that a swarm crossed over that city or that state. So swarm is basically a large group of insects moving in a mass. Okay. So next group of words is one who collects stamps. So a person who is fond of collecting stamps is known as a philatelist. So if you know someone who is having a hobby of collecting stamps and who loves to collect them, then you might refer that person as a philatelist. Okay, so philatelist is a person or someone who collects stamps. And the next group of words is someone who leaves one country to settle in another. So that person is known as an immigrant. So next time, if you ever get ambitious of leaving your own country and settling in another one, then you'll be calling yourself an immigrant, okay? So, immigrant is basically someone who leaves his or her native country to settle in another. So, our next group of words is a lover of good food. Now, as you can see in this picture, there's some really delicious looking food, and yeah, we're all getting hungry by looking at them. So, a lover of good food is known as a gourmet. So, gourmet is not only a lover of food, but good food that looks tempting, that tastes good, whose quality is superb. So, that kind of food lover is known as a gourmet. Okay, let's move further. So, medical study of skin and its diseases. Now, the field of medicine concerned with the study of skin and the diseases related to it is dermatology. Okay, and a dermatologist is a person who treats diseases related to skin. So, dermatology is the medical study of skin and its diseases. Okay, let's get on to the next one. That is no longer in existence or use. Something which is outdated and whose use has decreased recently or over the years, then that thing is known to be obsolete. So it might refer to a word or a trend or a ceremony, so which is no longer in existence or use. Okay, so obsolete is used for something which isn't used anymore. Okay, next one. A person who draws or produces map. So that person is known as a cartographer. So a cartographer is a person who scales a map, and that person is responsible for, we would say, showing us directions, because the person who draws a map basically produces map of a house, a building, a structure. So these sort of person, cartographers, they are really required to plan a city, or in urban designing we can say. So a cartographer is a person who draws a map. Okay, so next one, a person who compiles a dictionary. Now that person is called a lexicographer. So next time if you want to say that, yeah, that person over there is the one who compiles a dictionary, then instead of using all these words, you can simply mention, yeah, that person is a lexicographer. Okay, and we'll tell you something interesting. Lexicographer is also used for someone who is professional of his or her own field. So next time if you want to say that, yeah, that person masters English and he's just so well in it that no one can beat him, then you can simply say that he's a lexicographer of English. Okay, so it can also be used in this sense. So lexicographer in simple terms is a person who compiles a dictionary. Okay, moving further. A thing that is kept as a remainder of a person, place, or event. Now, we all happen to visit a place and buy something over there as a memory, or we click pictures to keep the memory alive that, yeah, we visited the place, we did these sort of things, and blah blah. So, that memory or that anything that we buy to keep it alive is known as a souvenir. So souvenir is a thing that is kept as a reminder of a person, place, or event. Okay, so next one is one who pretends to be what he's not. Okay, this is basically a common one word substitution that you must have heard at least once in your lifetime, I would say. So a person who is double-faced, or a person who pretends to be what he's really not, is known as a hypocrite. So a hypocrite is someone whose actions and whose words are completely opposite. Okay, they don't act like what they say, and they don't behave as per their sayings. So a double-faced person, or person who basically like he's not the one who he pretends to be, is a hypocrite. Okay, so next time whenever you meet such a person, instead of describing him in a number of words, you can simply mention that person as a hypocrite. Okay, so next one is a disease that affects a large number of people in an area at the same time. And I'll give you a hint. The COVID-19 dash is the answer. So yeah, it's pandemic. So a pandemic is basically a disease that spreads over a large area at the same time, and affects like heaps of people. And COVID-19 pandemic is the recent example that we've been suffering from since 2020. And yeah, so a pandemic is a disease that affects a large number of people in an area at the same time. So the next one is the art of delaying, the art of putting our things in future, the art of saying that, yeah, I'll do this tomorrow. Please, I'll do this tomorrow. I'll do this a day after tomorrow. I'll do this next month, next year. So this art of delaying things over future is known as procrastination. So it's all about choosing want over should. Like a child should get up early in the morning, but he always wants to stay in the bed. So that act is known as procrastination. Okay, so procrastination is the word that you must remember, because it is one of the most common one-word substitutions that you encounter almost everywhere. Okay, so the next group of words is a doctor who treats children, a doctor who deals with diseases and prescriptions related to children, and that doctor is known as a pediatrician. So a pediatrician basically deals with the health problems or any query related with children. Okay, be it nutrition, be it their growth, or in case of an emergency. So a pediatrician is the one who would guide you the best in case of children. Okay, so the next one is arrangement in order of occurrence. Now, whenever something is arranged with reference to the order of their time, their occurrence, then that arrangement is known as chronological. So next time, whenever you study your history books and there is a sequence or occurrence of events in a particular sequence, okay, then you can mention that sequence as chronological if it is basically related to time, or like when and where it happened. So you can simply mention that as chronological sequence. Okay, so it is basically an arrangement in order of occurrence. So next one, seeing something which is not actually present, and this act is known as hallucination. So hallucination is the act of encountering the happenings of something which doesn't actually happen. So hallucination is basically a sort of illusion where we believe the things to be happening, but in reality they are not. Like I am moving, I'm going somewhere, and I feel like, yeah, someone is following me and someone is moving with me, but there is actually no one. So that is that incident is basically my hallucination. Okay, so hallucination is seeing something which is not actually present. So next one is a situation that stops an activity from progressing, and that situation is known as a bottleneck. So if you are let's say project manager, and your project was going over smooth until and unless a problem occurred, and that became an obstacle for the progress of that project. So that thing would be referred as bottleneck. Okay, a bottleneck means an obstacle, we can say. So next one is someone having many skills, and that someone is known as versatile. If you know a person who is good at maths, English, science, well, let's say all the subjects, then you would not say that, yeah, he's good at dash. You would simply say that, yeah, he's versatile, he's good at everything. Okay, and yeah, same is the case for a person who is having heaps of skills, and he can do or post himself at any moment because of those skills. So you can simply mention that person as versatile. It's a good word actually. You should use it in your vocab, in your day-to-day life, if you happen to be in such a position to use it. So versatile is used for someone who have many skills. So next one is one who offers his service of his own free will, and that someone is known as a volunteer. So volunteering is basically offering your services for free without expecting something in return, and that something is most of the time regarded as money. So if you are doing some task without the expectation of money or the in return, and the expectation of any high expectations, we would say, so a volunteer is basically the one who offers his service without charging anything or expecting something big in return. They just basically seek their development in a way, like self-development and happiness in return. So yeah, that is a volunteer. So next one is a book written by an unknown. Now we often see various quotes, various books, various sayings which are credited as anonymous. So yeah, anonymous is the word for someone like who writes something, but the author of that book or that particular item is not known. So in that case, anonymous is the word that is used to substitute all these words. Okay, so a book written by an unknown is known as anonymous. So this was it for the video, and thank you for watching. Do hit the like button if you like the video, and don't forget to share with your friends to help them get some knowledge and to boost their vocab as well. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel and get all the latest updates by subscribing the channel. And last but not least, keep learning, as learning is always important. Thank you.